Hey everybody, welcome back. I have some big news for you today. We have a huge release from Atgames. They've been knocking it out of the park recently with their Sega Genesis Flashback that released back in 2018, the updated Atari Flashback X, the new Blast systems, and of course, the Legends Ultimate Arcade, which has been wiping the floor with all the competitors because of just how great that is. Before I talk about their new product, let me explain what the Legends Ultimate Arcade is if you're not familiar with it. It's a full-size arcade cabinet. It comes with 350 games, 2 joysticks, it has 2 spinners, and a trackball. And the biggest draw is that you can add your own games, your own main games, arcade games, whatever games you want to add to it, they will work with the arcade cabinet. Atgames knows what it is doing and it knows what the people want. They want to play their own games and they allow you to freely do that. They did it with the Atari Flashback, the Genesis Flashback, and now you can do it with the Arcade Legends Ultimate. And it's only $500. These things are actually really hard to find right now. Atgames is working really hard to put more out so people can get them. But it is like the hot item right now, especially for arcade enthusiasts. So I want to explain all that before I talk about their new product, the Legends Gamer. Very similar to the Legends Ultimate Arcade, except it's just the joysticks. Kind of like what we've been seeing recently with the Capcom joystick and the Neo Geo arcade joysticks. But once again, Atgames knows what the people want. It has the same features as the Legends Ultimate Arcade where you can bring your own game from Steam. You can purchase games from ArcadeNet, and it has 150 built-in arcade and console games. Atgames has not announced the games list just yet. But once again, the big draw with this is you can add your own games. And as for the price, this comes in at $199. It has Bluetooth connectivity, Wi-Fi connectivity. You can also connect to it through Ethernet. It is completely wireless and it has its own rechargeable battery. I don't mind wires and things like that, but if I have the choice to go wireless, I prefer that. And I'm okay with controllers where I have to use my own batteries, but to have a rechargeable battery is so much better. It does have local streaming, so you can stream your games from your Steam account or your own personal server. And what's nice about this is you can use a controller with your own PC or other consoles that allow Bluetooth. That alone is amazing because people really like to use these controllers when playing their arcade games. And of course, the biggest selling point is the ability to add your own games via a flash drive. And to be honest, the only reason I don't have the Legends Ultimate Arcade was because of the price point. I couldn't dish out $500 at the time they were selling them to really secure one. At $200, that is a lot more reasonable for me to pay for something like this. I'm still going to get the Legends Ultimate Arcade as soon as I can though. But the Legends Gamer is a great alternative and of course, the price is a lot cheaper. Let's take an actual look at the system and the different hardware it has. I don't have a lot of information to go off of yet, but you can find all these pictures on the Atgames website and I'll have that linked in my description. So in this first picture, we have the Legends Gamer here. As you can see, we have both joysticks again, but this time each player has 8 buttons. You may also notice we don't have the trackball, we don't have the spinners. You do have that spot in the middle though where it looks like you may be able to add a trackball in the future. You have the player 1, player 2 buttons at the top as well as the rewind button. See a couple buttons over there on the side? We'll talk about those in a little bit. And in the top right corner you see you have a selector switch as well as a power button. It looks like we may have similar features as the Legends Ultimate Arcade where you can hook up your other devices and use a controller with them like the flashbacks or the blast systems. In the next picture here we get a view of the user interface. It looks like it's the same one they use on the Ultimate Arcade. Here's a view of the back of the Legends Gamer. You can see we have a USB port and that looks like a mini USB charging port. I don't have any information as of right now as to any other function of those ports, but if I find anything out, I will definitely let you guys know. And here's an overhead view of the controller. Some of the sources say that this is very comfortable to be played with 2 players. It's long enough to fit on both players' lap, and as you can see, there's plenty of space between the joysticks and the buttons from player 1 and player 2. It's a little hard to see in this picture, but the buttons are labeled as A, B, X, Y, R1, R2, L1, L2, LB, RB, LT, and RT. There's also that green button in the middle with the Atgames logo. I'm not really sure what that does just yet. Here we have the dongle that's included with the Legends Gamer. This is what allows it to be wireless. You're going to plug the dongle into your TV and the system will connect to it via Bluetooth. On the reverse side of the dongle we have a few ports here. They're a little difficult to see, but in the middle you have the Ethernet port. To the right of that looks like the HDMI port, and to the left it looks like we have maybe a USB port and a mini USB port. And finally, this is one of the most exciting things for me to talk about at least, are the buttons on the side of the Legends Gamer. One of the biggest trending things right now is Virtual Pinball. The buttons on the side are used for flippers for the Virtual Pinball games. And I love pinball, I'm a huge fan of pinball, so when I saw this picture I got extremely happy. Atgames has been hinting all month that they may be doing something regarding Virtual Pinball, and it looks like they have that included with the Legends Gamer. There's 2 buttons on each side of the system, one for the flippers and the other one is an action button. And I don't think I'm wrong in assuming that Atgames is going to allow you to play whatever pinball games you have. Maybe your pinball collection that you got on Steam. I am so excited for this to come out, and again, it's a lot more affordable than the Ultimate Arcade. If you can get the Ultimate Arcade, definitely get that because you won't get an arcade experience with anything else like that machine. But at $200, this is a great buy for what you're getting. They're going to try and ship these out in mid-June, and already there's so much demand for these, it's difficult to get one secured. I'm going to try and find out as much as I can in terms of availability and let you guys know when you can pick this up again and where you can get it. It's amazing. I can't wait to get my hands on it. And that's all I got for you guys. Let me know in the comments what you thought about the Legends Gamer. Do you have the Legends Ultimate Arcade? How do you feel about that? Do you think this is coming at a good price at $200? What do you think about adding your own games, adding your own virtual pinball games? That is probably the biggest selling point for me, the virtual pinball. And that's all I have for you guys. So as always, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. This is the part of the video where I thank those users who support the channel through YouTube memberships and Patreon. Eric Cologne, Jordy Alex, Mike Muniz, Sam Torres, Dor, Yaroslav Orudzov, Den Cardoso, Andre G, Randy Day, Travis Morton, Rick67, and Batman.